Buenas tardes, Taylor. Hoy es el 4 de mayo. This week was supposed to be special, next week was supposed to be special. Next week will still be special, but this week was finals. I was gonna record in my car on my way home from class, or work, but I was tired I was rushed between work and class because I got out of work late because of an issue in records. Yeah, I was rushed between work and class because I got out late, and then between class and home for my morning class, I was tired. I got a package from Amazon. Amazon didn't put the lid on my Gatorade powder correctly. I don't know. I was just sitting there going, really? I mean, it's a one-time deal, so I'm not like gonna go to Amazon and start yelling at people. It wasn't injured. Well, it would. You know what I mean. The package wasn't injured too much badly. The lid wasn't on, and it looked a little banged, but nothing looked injured. And of course, I wasn't like thinking, "Oh, there's something wrong with this Gatorade." It's just the packaging was not as good as it normally is. One-time mistakes happen. Who knows what happened? It's probably happened in shipping. Luckily, everything else in that package turned out fine. Yeah, so I was tired going class to home. I was going to do it in the middle of the day, but I've been working on my micro unknown report. I mean, that's not that hard, but I still needed to work on it. And then we got the tornado warning that's been happening. I mean, I could show you outside, but you can't really see it because in the south, which is the way my window faces, nothing is happening. And in the north, it's just dark so far up you can't tell. But class got canceled because most of my classmates, especially for night classes, are not from the Alpine area. Most of my nighttime classes are from, other areas around the Alpine. Which doesn't seem like a bad thing, but this isn't a metroplex or metropolitan area, whatever you call it. When I mean all over the area, I mean there's some people who go to Presidio. People live in Presidio, which is an hour and a half, 2 hour drive, depending on how fast you're going. People I go to class with live in Tolingua. They live in Midland. They live in Fort Stockton. It's a good 4 or 5 mile or 4 or 5 hour radius that you can, or diameter. You know what I mean. That you can have people coming to Saros. It's not like Toledo, Tyler, places like that where the farthest students you have are an hour maybe. Most of them will live in town. But for night classes, especially for Alpine, most of Alpine's night classes are oil field workers. Yeah, so that's why I'm recording here in my room with the pharmacy picture. Say hi, pharmacy, who can't move because this is not Harry Potter. I wish pictures moved. Also, the fact that I used the correct hand to point at the picture shows I am learning. But I was going to do a special video, both showing off the Bountiful Baskets thing and my report that I did last Wednesday. For Bountiful Baskets, I really have no excuse. I'm just too lazy to plug this in. That, and it's just, all I have is a small video of me holding my phone and, looking around, and it's just people standing in a parking lot looking at laundry baskets filled with fruit in them. Because I didn't get any of the, us packaging the fruit and vegetables. Which there were a lot of. And it was even funnier because the dude who was driving the truck knew it needed to be here by 4. Unfortunately, I guess very few people know that inside the state of Texas, there's a time zone change. Right around the El Paso city limits is a time zone change from Mountain Time to Central Time. He did not know about it. It was fun. Especially since Aunt Jenny and I and a bunch of other people, like 23, 24 of us, were just sitting out in the Saros Animal Science parking lot in 90-degree heat. I was in jeans, because no one told me to wear shorts. And Jenny. The other thing that I was going to do, my project, was horrible. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but for my standards, it was horrible. I wasn't comfortable with the subject. As much as I researched the subject, I just was not comfortable talking in front of the class about discovering why there are different kinds of grasses growing in an area. I'm not a botanist. I know very little, but in ecology there was very little that I am comfortable with that I could have talked about. Especially with work and the fact that my observation site was our backyard because of it. So I was very uncomfortable with the subject. I don't even want to show the project. I will say that I was the only one who did not read off my PowerPoint because my PowerPoint was pictures of the yard, so I would not feel tempted to read off my PowerPoint. Because that is a horrible tactic when giving a science presentation. Yet everyone else did it. It was almost 10 minutes, which was like our bare minimum was 12. So I did decent. I mean, that was without questions. Dr. Hilscher normally pushed it up if you had questions. People ask you questions. I had questions about myself. That would have been weird. I mean, it's not the first time I've talked to myself. Technically, I'm talking to myself right now because I'm talking to my computer, which has a camera on it. But I mean, it goes to you. Therefore, I am not talking to myself. Either way, your word for the week is going to be cookie, because I have chocolate chip, cookie Oreos, cookie dough Oreos, because Grandma found them, and they're delicious. Yeah, hasta viernes. Feliz Cinco de Mayo. And I just remembered something. Is that tomorrow? Yes, okay.